Hey everyone, Ishmael Kolia is your realtor, associate broker with eXp Realty, and the team leader for the team of experts. Today's topic is the inspection. Inspection is often dreaded by the homeowners. They're anxious and they're worried as to what the inspector is going to uncover. If we take out the mystery behind the inspection, I think it'd be a lot more helpful for the homeowners to understand exactly what is involved in the inspection process. Number one is the home inspection is entirely voluntary, except for a few exceptions, such as a VA loan or FHA loan. Inspections are not required, although they're highly recommended. And when I'm working with my buyers, we certainly recommend that our buyers conduct an inspection because they're about to spend a significant amount of money on this purchase, not to mention that their family will be living in that property. So you want to make sure that that property is safe and secure for your family. However, it is not required, although highly recommended. So keep that in mind. Number two is it has no bearing with any government agency, again, for the most part, meaning the inspector is not going to report you or your property to your local city as to what the inspector uncovers. It is purely for information purposes. The buyer wants to know, is this house safe and secure for my family? And if there are issues that need to be addressed, what are those issues? And that's fair. The buyer should know what they're stepping into, so to speak. So what exactly does the inspection involve? The inspector is a licensed professional who is licensed and trained to look for potential issues with the property, and they're looking at items that are visible to the eye. They're not going behind the walls, they're not opening sheetrock, they're not opening the roof or the ceiling to look behind the scenes, but rather they're looking at what is visible, and they're looking for any health and safety concerns. You know, a foundation, the heating system, the cooling system. What does the roof look like visually? Again, are there any signs of water intrusion, either in the foundation, in the basement, or through the roof, through the walls? What about the windows? Are they operational? Do the springs work on the windows? Are they openable, closable? And so forth. What about electrical? Are there any ungrounded outlets? The outlets in the bathroom as well as the kitchen, they need to be GFCI. Any outlet that is within 6 feet of a source of water need to have a special switch, so that in case that outlet touches water, or if water touches that outlet, it will trip and discontinue the supply of power and so forth. So these are some of the typical items that a home inspector would look for. What we do recommend our seller clients who are anxious or want to get ahead of the situation is to do what's called a pre-listing inspection. That means, yes, you, the homeowner, can do your own inspection anytime you like, and that may not be a terrible idea. Even if you're not looking to sell a house, perhaps it's not a bad idea to do an inspection of your own every year or two, so that you're aware of what safety issues lie in your house for your family. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're living in a house that is safe and secure and free of any health concerns. So yes, you, the seller, are also welcome to do a pre-listing inspection. We highly recommend that. And we also have home inspectors who we trust that we can recommend to you if you'd like those recommendations. So to get ahead of what the buyer's inspector will find, you can do your own inspection. That way you're aware of what items the buyer's inspector will eventually uncover. When the buyer does their inspection, they're going to use the finding of that inspection as a bargaining tool. All right, so they'll use that to bargain the price further down or they'll want some of that work done at that time. And at that time, you may now be further down the process of selling the house. Your timeline may be shorter. You may need to sell the house sooner rather than later. And so you may have to spend more money hiring professionals to do the job in a rush, as opposed to you doing a pre-listing inspection and getting things done on your own timeline. So again, once the buyer does their inspection, they may come back with a price reduction to say, hey, look, we found these 4 big items that are going to cost about $20,000 to fix, so we would like you to lower the price by $20,000. Now, rest assured that whatever price they quote you for the work that is needed is usually going to be inflated as compared to what it may really cost, because obviously they want to have a cushion, or they want to have a margin of error. That means if the work would actually cost, say, $15,000, they're probably going to ask for $20,000 or $25,000 just in case the work goes over budget. However, if you do the work on your own, you may be able to get it done within that $15,000 price range, as we discussed. Plus, you would be able to check with your own contractors and service providers. You may be able to compare prices with 2-3 service providers and so forth, and hire the best person for the job per your choice, as opposed to these buyers quoting a price for you to perhaps reduce from your purchase price. So again, it may behoove us to do a pre-listing inspection and get some of the work done before the house goes even in the market, so that the buyers later on do not have a chance to renegotiate with us on that work, because the work has already been done and so forth. So, and by the way, small things can go a long way. Perhaps doing a decluttering, perhaps doing minor repairs such as replacing that bulb that's out and so forth. So again, Ishmael Collier is your realtor, associate broker with eXp Realty, 914-215-1540, or you can reach me at 914-540-8849. My team and I are ready to help you and your family with your sale, and we'll be happy to discuss with you your property's condition and what work may or may not be needed. Thank you so much. I look forward to connecting with you.